Today I want to show you two apps that I've combined together that is saving me probably a few hours a month with my Airbnb listing. So I noticed that I was doing a lot of tedious tasks of monitoring my inventory of supplies for my Airbnb listing, like shampoos, soaps, hand sanitizers, paper towels, toilet paper, all my cleaning supplies, just all the things that I was always replenishing. And I noticed I was always trying to track that, and then as it would get low, I'd have to go remember to go actually order them and restock that. And then if I ran out, then I'd be panicking and running to the store to buy new supplies. And so it was just kind of this tedious task list that I was always trying to make sure I did, and if I forgot, it caused problems. So I thought, gosh, there's got to be a way to automate this. So I combined the Ordermate app, which is free, and the Zapier app, which is also free. And so Zapier is actually watching my Airbnb for, I have it set to 20 nights of rentals, and then once I hit that 20 threshold, it'll actually go through and order all my supplies thanks to Ordermate right on Amazon. I don't have to think about it. The supplies are shipped directly to my door. It happens automatically, and it's been really nice and honestly really fun. And I've been able to implement this into a lot of parts of my life, and I've really enjoyed it. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this tutorial and you'll find value in it. It'll also save you time, energy, and money, and just make your Airbnb hosting experience more efficient and automated. All right, so the first two steps you're going to want to do to set this up for your own Airbnb listings is first things first, go to ordermate.io and set up your Ordermate account. It's free, and it's at the time of this recording, it's in beta, but pretty robust, and it's going to be free even when the full app gets released soon. And then next, go to zapier.com and set up your account there. Again, this is free. You get like 100 free automations per month with your free account. So go set those up, and then you'll be ready to dive into the rest of this tutorial. Okay, once you've got your account set up, log into ordermate.io, and you're gonna need to do a few things to get your account set up, and then once that's all done, everything's really fast and easy. But first you need to do is set up your first retailer with Amazon. So basically authenticate your Amazon account with Ordermate. Then you're gonna need to set up a shipping and billing address, a default shipping and billing address, and a default payment card. Once those are actually set up, you're pretty much good to go with setting up your automations with an Ordermate. Automation is basically a shopping cart template, so you can have one or multiple products within an automation, and then you can set different addresses and billing information for that automation. And then whenever this gets triggered, which we'll go over that in a minute, all this will be ordered at one time. So that automation will be ordered and purchased at one time. So as you can see, I've got an Airbnb supplies 20 rental day automation already built right here. But for the case of this tutorial video, I'll start over from scratch and walk you through step by step how I set this up. Okay, so let's set up your first automation. We'll call it Airbnb supplies. And then you can add products right here. You can also add products at this tab. Basically, you're going to save products from retailers like Amazon inside Ordermate, and then that way you can easily add them to an automation or a shopping cart template. So in this case, I already have my products that I consistently buy for my Airbnb listing saved in Ordermate. So I will add those here. If you click new product, all you have to do is copy and paste the URL from the product, and then it brings it right in here and it saves it in here. So I've got all these products that I know I buy consistently. I'm going to add these to my automation. You can also customize the quantity, but in this case, this is all going to be quantity 1. That's the right amount for 20 nights of renting out our property. You'll see that it gives you an estimated total, which is the price that Amazon has right now for these items. And then the max price is going to be the max I'll pay. If you've ever used Amazon, then you know Amazon prices can fluctuate, and so you can set a max price. If it goes over that, it'll notify me, so that way I don't end up spending a ton of money for some random item I didn't want to spend that much on. We're going to click review and save. Choose a delivery address right here. Payment card, I actually want to choose a different card, this card here. And there's a summary of the shopping cart template or the automation, and save. All right, so there's that automation. As far as Ordermate goes, we are pretty much done. Now we're going to build a trigger in Zapier, and whenever that trigger happens in Zapier, this right here, this automation will automatically get bought on Amazon. All these items will get bought and shipped directly to me. So let's open up Zapier and take a look at that. Okay, so once you're logged into Zapier, what you're going to want to do is make a Zap. So you'll select the Make a Zap button. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to create the trigger. And in my case, you can do this a lot of different ways. What I did was I created a Google Calendar trigger. And so anytime a new Airbnb event or rental gets added to that calendar, it'll cause this trigger to go into effect. And so I'll do Google Calendar. The trigger event will be a new event. Continue. You're going to need to authenticate your Google account here. In my case, I already have that done, so I'm going to click this. Continue. And now I get to choose what calendar it's watching. So it's going to be monitoring my Airbnb calendar. So anytime an event gets added to this calendar, which happens automatically anytime someone books on Airbnb, this trigger will happen. So how I set that up is actually, if you log into your Airbnb account, make sure you're in the hosting panel, go to listings, and then availability. Scroll down, you're going to see export calendar. You're going to copy this calendar, and then you're going to log into your Google account. And add that URL. You may already have this done, but add this to other calendars right here from URL. You're going to paste it in there and then add it. Once that's added, every time an Airbnb booking comes through, it'll get added to that Google Calendar, and now Zapier can see that right here. So I'm going to link up my Airbnb calendar, continue. And this isn't going to test correctly because there's no new events in there, but I'm going to skip it for now. It brought in some sample data, which is perfect. Continue. Okay, the next step is going to be adding an action here. It's storage by Zapier. We're basically going to add all the nights that get out of this calendar into this temporary storage, which is a free storage built into Zapier. So we're going to say increment value. We're basically going to add up these values as they happen. Continue. So I already have an Airbnb storage duration. You're going to need to connect a new account. Very simple, but in this case, I've got one there, so I'll select that. Continue. Okay, so this is going to be your own key. So this is going to be, I'm going to call this number of nights, or just nights. And then the increment value, or increment amount, is going to be, we're going to look at duration in hours. So Airbnb is going to, every time an Airbnb rental comes through to your Google Calendar, it's going to be added. And if it's a one-night rental, it's a 24-hour duration. And if it's a two-night rental, it's a 48-hour, and so on. And so we're going to look at that number right there. And that's what's going to add up. We're going to click Continue. Okay, we're going to test and review. So it sees one, close, or we're actually going to add another step here. Nope. So the next step is going to be a filter. And we're going to monitor with this filter our storage there. And we're going to look at the nights. Make sure I've got that right. Yeah, key nights, yep. And so as every time a booking comes through, let's say it's just one night bookings, that's going to go 24, 48, 72, keep adding up. And then once this filter is greater than 240, actually that would be for, 480 for 20. Once that filter is greater than 480, that would be 20 nights. We're going to click continue. This will allow this to go through. Okay, click close. So basically if it's greater than 480, it's going to go to the next step. If it's not greater than 480, it just stops, but it keeps adding your number of, or your hours of Airbnb rentals right here. And so if it's greater than 480, then what we need to do is we want to add another step to that storage. We're going to clear that storage and reset it back to 0 basically. So set value, and we're going to say Airbnb duration storage, key nights, value 0. Click continue. Okay, and then here's where we're going to add the Ordermate. Action event, so create an order. Again, remember, this is all happening sequentially, so if it's greater than 480, we're going to reset that to 0, and now we're going to trigger this automation that we built on Ordermate. Continue. Automation. Here's where I select that automation we built. Airbnb supplies. And we're going to click continue. And go on to here. So if I test this right now, it'll actually trigger this order in automation, or this automation within Ordermate. And so I'm going to say, let me see here, skip test. I don't want to trigger that because I know it's going to work. Ready to turn on your Zap. Zap is on. So once that is on and running, let's actually give this a name. Airbnb to Ordermate. That's fine. And now that's it. And so now that that's our Ordermate is set up, our automation's built out how we want it. And then in Zapier, we built this Zap called Airbnb to Ordermate. Every time a new booking comes through, it's going to be added to our Google Calendar. It's going to watch that, add up all the nights of bookings, essentially. And then when it hits 20 nights or 480 hours, it's going to reset to 0 and order this automation here. And all those supplies will be shipped to me, and I'll have it within a couple days. It's fully automatic. I don't have to think about it. And that just made my life a whole lot easier.